Polygons and quadrilaterals fit in different categories based on their characteristics. So the most general category is polygon. This goes at the top of your paper. And it is a closed shape with straight lines. The next most specific, this goes right underneath, is quadrilateral. And quadrilateral is a four-sided shape with four angles. Okay. The next is kite, which kind of fits in its own category off to the side. And it has adjacent congruent sides, remembering congruent means equal, and one set of congruent angles. Trapezoid also kind of fits in its own category. And it has exactly one pair of parallel sides. Remember we talked about it can have other characteristics, but that is the characteristic we look for. Then we have parallelogram. This is where it becomes getting tricky. And parallelogram has opposite sides parallel and opposite sides congruent. And their angles are also congruent. Then we have rectangle. Opposite sides are parallel. Opposite sides are congruent. And opposite angles are congruent. And there are four 90-degree angles, also known as right. Then we have rhombus. Rhombus and rectangle are kind of opposite each other because they share characteristics, but they aren't each other. They are opposite sides are parallel. Opposite sides are congruent. Opposite angles are congruent. And all the sides are congruent. Okay, that's where it has a combination. That's where it's different from a rectangle. And then the most specific is square. And it has opposite angles are congruent. Opposite sides are congruent. Opposite sides are parallel. Four 90-degree angles, also known as right. And all sides are congruent. So if you look at the bottom of your paper, it starts out the most specific. So if a square, then you also have a square as a rectangle and a rhombus and a parallelogram following the arrows up. And we will go over more of that in class tomorrow.